based on Yoga Sutra, freedom and happiness. If there is a freedom, there is a permanent happiness. And if we experience happiness from all the sides, happiness from all the sides, in Eastern wisdom it is known as Ananda. Ananda. Literal translation is bliss. But the moment we talk of bliss, mind goes somewhere else. But still that is not permanent happiness. Yeah, you see? Freedom and happiness. So who has kept in bondage? My spouse? My son? My government? No. I have created bondage for myself. So journey of Eastern wisdom is to release ourselves from the bondage. No, I am happy with the bondage. So sometimes people are happy with the bondage and they suffer. Because bondage means limitation. Bondage means that as if I am in the prison and I am enjoying the prison. Some people enjoy it. Do you see that? So, understand that part, freedom and happiness. This is the journey we are undertaking based on the teachings of our great master Patanjali. Why I say based on the teaching? Even if I have to teach physics, I have to refer Einstein, I have to refer Archimedes, I have to refer Newton. Without which, these scientists, there is no physics knowledge. See that? That is why I always say. So now come to the topic. We are alone to walk the pathless path. There is a path, it is pathless, and we have to walk alone. When we understand clearly, there is a clarity, there is no doubt. What happens? The value of that knowledge increases. We have heard about BMW's luxurious car. So I went last year and I said, explain me. So I have seen more than 50 values. So when you get a right knowledge, you have a value in the mind, in the intellect. And when you increase that value, when the intellect increases the value, you don't want to leave. You want to own it. You want to possess it. But here in Eastern wisdom, clarity of the knowledge means what? You give value to yourself. So when you give value to yourself, then what happens? Think of it. Then you refuse to be miserable. Are you understanding? When you have a clarity of knowledge about yourself, then you refuse to be miserable. How come? Peace is your essential nature. Happiness is you, is within you. It lives with you. It is always with you 24/7. But whatever, how our mind feels, okay, you beard guy say so, I believe in front of you. But once I finish this session, I will go back to the same thing. Then you are not giving value. to the knowledge. Don't give value to me. Are you understanding? Give value to the knowledge. Knowledge is power. That is what our masters are talking. So we say that knowledge is that power which liberates you from suffering, bondage, limitation, one, and it leads you to permanent peace and happiness. Now to understand, again we bring a clarity. Can anyone experience peace, happiness, love and wisdom for you? Can anyone else outside experience peace, happiness, love and wisdom for you? No. Can one spare you some money to get you out of the debt? Yes. I carry a burden on my shoulder, 50 pounds, so you come and you share that burden. But can you share? Can anyone share? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Can anyone share? No. Answer is no. I have to find myself. Choice to choose permanent peace and happiness, love and wisdom in my life lies with me. If I don't make the right choice, then I blame, I complain, I react. So you see, the blame, complaint and reaction is a common element. Whether I work in a workplace, that element remains common. Whether I come to the house, that element remains common. I have to make a choice. If I don't make a choice to myself, then by default, or you can say, the stress and anxiety and the suffering enters in our life as unwanted, uninvited guest. But I have to choose peace and happiness in my life. You wake up in the morning and then you may welcome anxiety, you may welcome reaction because of the thought process going on. If I don't make a choice for the peace and happiness in my life, nothing is going to happen. Masters make no outer external factors are there. You don't understand. Sometimes people say, you don't understand. What you will understand? My environment, my relationship, my pressure. That is what we are learning. Uninvited guest. We can get rid of that uninvited guest if I choose peace and happiness, which lies within me. Once I understand it clearly, I choose it, I practice it, I will be in peace. Even in adverse situation, conditions of my life. Freedom and happiness. Walking the pathless path alone. So it means, because I can choose the peace and happiness for myself. I can point to choose peace and happiness for others. Whether they choose or not, it is their choice. But in order to make my life peaceful and happy, I have to choose that path. So first point to understand that I have to walk the path alone. Within me. outside with everyone. Are you getting it? I have a choice. So, we are understanding walking the path alone. And what is that path? Path is pathless. Why it is pathless? You cannot see the highway to the peace outside. You have to see the highway to the peace and happiness inside you. Pathless path, being alone. Now understand that word alone. That is very important. There is a word alone and there is a word loneliness. Suppose, example, we all are living together, we have good relationship, and someday one person out of us leaves us. I feel lonely because I'm separated from that person, that object, that thing. Are you getting it? Separated. No separation. Why I feel separated? Because I am attached. Why I am attached? Because that attachment gives me some pleasure, a sense of security. Are you getting it? Loneliness is different from being alone. First, we are understanding what is loneliness. So, loneliness only comes when I feel the separation either from an object or a person or a thing or an event. Honey was saying, you sold the house in India, so what a beautiful house. So internally I became aware, I have already sold the house, it is not me, not mine, finished, done. Why should I remember? It is gone. You see, to break the idea of an attachment in the mind. So remember, loneliness means I am attached to something. Now I am separated. Even that person or an object still exists. But I feel a kind of separation. Even living together, we feel the separation. Do you see that? That is the most problematic thing in the world. We are living in the same house. How long it has been that you talked? Oh, it has been 2 years. Living in the same house under the same roof, yes. So you have invited separation. That is loneliness. Are you understanding that? So check in your life. Don't invite loneliness. It comes due to the attachment, craving, and obsession of a person or a thing or an event outside. Separation leads to isolation. So what happens when I feel lonely, I feel isolated? I react, I blame, I complain. That becomes my habit. Just think of it. See the path, the way the mind is going. Are you understanding that? Because the mind is totally obsessed with something outside. Then only that causes loneliness. Are you getting it? So once I feel I'm separated, then what happens? Blame, complain, reaction, anxiety, fear, Are you getting it? Fear. So ask yourself, do I possess these beautiful qualities of the mind with me? Then I feel separation. Then I'm looking and my mind is projecting happiness outside. So what happened to our beautiful concept? The happiness lies with me. You have forgotten completely. Now understand what is being alone. When I saw the dictionary, I found alone means all plus one. Yes, Michelle, all plus one. There is no two outside. Why should I project my happiness to anyone outside? I'm happy with myself. And I'm sharing that peace and happiness to you. You react, I share peace and happiness. You again react, I share peace and happiness with you. There are many ways to do that. Sometimes you remain silent, you don't react, still you are sharing peace and happiness. Anne knows my ins and out of the life. She doesn't like to share, but she knows. I always do that. I enjoy that moment. Oh, here is a big opportunity. You are reacting. I will share peace and happiness with you. Why? Because I am alone. Seeker follows the path alone. Now, what is the benefit of being alone? Alone has nothing to do with anything outside. Are you getting it? It has nothing to do with anything outside. All one. I see that oneness in me. I give you a beautiful example. Think of it. If your teeth, all one, if your teeth hurts your tongue, do you bring a hammer to remove all the teeth? Ask yourself. If the nail of your right fingers goes inside your eyes, do you remove the fingers? Do you consider it as different from you? Separate from you? Are you getting it? This is how our teachers used to teach. That is what I learned for 26 years, again and again. I have to hammer the mind with these beautiful statements and concepts. So all one means what? When I cannot hurt my teeth because the teeth has hurt my tongue. Why? All one. Teeth and the tongue are essentially a part of my body. Are you getting it? Can I live with that understanding? All is one. You have come into my life. I know you are reacting. So you want to check my tolerance and endurance? I will do it. Don't start talking about women liberation and men freedom, Don't go there. Go inside first. First check yourself. Are you getting it? That is the message the Master gives. Second part, the being alone means that you get rid of the attachment, craziness, obsession, and you start searching that permanent happiness and peace in your life within you. So it has twofold benefit. It stops reaction, mind is clear, and you can tread the path of meditation easily. My master used to say, refuse to be miserable. Why? because you are the son of peace and happiness, love and wisdom. You are the children of peace and happiness. Can I remember that? I can tell you, you simply remember. So that knowledge enters into your mind, into your intellect. It brings the clarity. And what happens? If you do it couple of times, one day what will happen? Somebody is reacting and your intellect says, wow, what a beautiful way to react. It is they are checking my endurance. Let me silent, hold back. First time you will awaken to that power of a knowledge. Otherwise, what happens? See, otherwise what happens? Your mind, say example, your mind reacted against me. Today, you wake up in the morning, the first thing your mind remembers is me. I become your darling. You see that? Because of reaction. To whom we react, the mind repeats and remembers again and again. Are you getting it? See that? So we are wasting our life, we are wasting our time. That is the beauty of this journey of the Eastern wisdom. So we have understood walking alone, that pathless path, leads us to succeed in meditation. And what happens in meditation? Don't get carried away by those mystics and occult experiences. Don't go there. Once you go there, you will never be able to come out of it. And the stress level goes high. I have seen not one, but hundreds of those people who claim, I will take you to the mystic path. When I have an intellect, why should I follow your mystic path? Why? Why shouldn't I test it with my intellect? You tell me, you guide me. If I cannot understand, I should find out why I cannot understand. Do you understand? Don't get carried away by those teachings which says, I will bless you, I will pass on something to you. There is nothing like this in our Eastern wisdom. It is very clear path. What it says, you know the principle. You say, I don't know, so let me know the principle. I don't understand, let me understand the principle. Push the teacher. Chase the teacher, make me understand. Don't put me into anything that is mystic, unconscious. Clear. So once you understand it clearly, then what happens? The intellect inspires you. What it says then, the intellect, yes, I have understood it clearly, but I don't experience, so let me practice to experience. I have told you many a times. So then I have experienced it, but it doesn't stay for long. I do practice, it stays for maybe 2 or 3 hours. So what has happened? The mind is heavily conditioned. I have to continue to practice to bring about a permanent change, to awaken to that state of consciousness. Don't be so serious. We are not talking of atom bomb. We are talking of how we can succeed Last thing, just think of it. And then we will start our practice. 24 hours journey, few cherished thoughts. Some thoughts have a reaction of blame, complaint, isn't it? 24 hours life. Emotions, waking state, sleep state, maybe a dream state. Some physical activity, some mental activity, some emotional activity. This is what is our 24 hours of life. Right? If I have money, I am full of pleasure. The next day the money is spent, I don't have money. 24 hours life. Right? Ask yourself. We have been repeating this 24 hours of life, days after days, weeks after weeks, months after months, years after years, and expecting a different result. It will never happen. If it happens, tell me. It should have happened. So I have to learn something new. That should change my entire life. Let us start meditating. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Are you getting it? Simple thing. I'm not saying, it's so difficult to understand. They are very simple principles. Eyes, close your eyes. Let us start our journey. First, close your eyes. Make your body comfortable. So body is comfortable and in the stage 1. In the stage 1. What you are doing? Eyes are closed and body is comfortable. 2. The mind is looking inside. Being alone. Being alone means I am with myself only. Means what? Even if the thoughts will come, I will ask those thoughts to stay away. So in the stage 1, we go to the second step. Being comfortable. So eyes are closed. And now we look at the neck joint, feeling presence, being comfortable, sensation and steadiness. It becomes a natural journey. You need not to make any effort. Shoulder joints. So where the mind is, on the shoulder joints. Does it feel the shoulder joint? Yes. Be there. What happens? You experience sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Move the mind on the hip joint. Be there. Feel the sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness. Now see that if you feel the body is not supporting you, that is how we express. You need not to do anything. Every time we are moving into the process of being comfortable, you have to pay a little more attention. Otherwise, what happens? The mind starts ruling you. The body doesn't move by itself. Body is a matter. How dare the body can move by itself? So when I become aware of this principle, move the mind on the entire body, from the top of the head to the toes. Simply you move the mind, you experience that sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. If you realize, if you pick up any thought that is complaining against the body, don't react, but move the mind once again. The mind says, no, I will continue to move the body. Move the mind once again from the top of the head to the toes. Means you raise your awareness. So what happens when you raise your awareness? The mind realizes the body cannot move by itself. The mind leaves the body as it is. It becomes comfortable and steadiness. Not fighting. When you fight, then you have lot of thoughts in the mind pertaining to the body. Then body will never be steady. Understanding. Conscious journey. Nothing of mysticism. And then we move little deeper, be carefree. It is the thought that contains the motive that pulls my mind outside. So what I am doing? What I have to do? Look at the thought, they are separate from me. I have to be separate from what I don't desire. So at this moment, any thought comes and goes. Let it come and go. I know for the mind that has a tremendous blame, complaint and reaction, it is not easy to go. But still you insist. What do you insist? The birds flying in the sky. Above the birds flying, there is a sky that doesn't move. So you are looking the deeper mind that does not affect itself by any thought, feeling, sensations. It is like the storm is there outside and you push yourself inside the home, close the door, the storm is still there, but you are unaffected. The storm of thoughts, feeling, sensations, blame, complaint, reaction, anxiety, duality, conflict. That storm is just outside. You are already inside, being carefree. You have to insist with the knowledge. You have not to fight. That makes you carefree, my friends. In the stage 1, we go to the 4th step, that is being casual. These are knowledge practices. We are not doing anything. You already admitted knowledge is power. Why don't you apply? And the 4th step is being casual. I will go back to the same example of being casual means what? The water anywhere, everywhere, in any part of the world is natural. Either you pass through a tap or put it into the refrigerator or put it into the garbage, the sewage, put it into the ocean. The natural state of the water does not change. But it appears change in the form of a wave, in the form of a shape, in the size of the water. We are water as existence. You can mix the water in anything. The essential nature of the water does not change. So just to reflect on that. But what happens? The mind does not want to understand. It still moves the body, creates hesitation, lives with that, blame and complain to the body or the mind or to someone. So we purify the mind. Get ready to purify the mind. Look deep inside. Look deep inside the chest. Be cheerful, be steady, and start breathing quick and short breath from both the nostrils. Quick and short and gentle breath. But with a smile on the face. Don't make your face. Yes, that is also important. Otherwise, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Continue. The mind will not like to continue the practice. We want to continue to get rid of that agitated mind. So continue, please. Continue. The mind does not like to do it and still you continue. Why you insist? You persist. That's the way the purifying the mind. And stop this. Just check that state. You may feel some kind of a freshness. Remember, any breathing practice may bring a temporary state of freshness. And once the mind is able to go deeper without this kind of a breath, we will leave that breathing practice. Eyes are closed. Now take a deep breath into the belly, first then into the rib cage, up to the neck joint. It should take time. You are not in a hurry and a worry. While breathing out, looking deep inside the forehead, you start humming sound. Remember, the next breath is deeper than the previous breath, but it has to be silent, slow, noiseless, and the next humming is louder, deeper, and longer than the previous one. Pay that much of attention for a few minutes to move the mind within. Don't take your mind to some discomfort or anxiety or some movement in the body, but use your 100% of the mind into that step. It is our second stage and second step. Then we will go into the third stage. Beautiful. Continue. Couple of times more. Remember, your mind is moving within. Don't worry and don't care about outside, including the body. Let it remain in the state of steadiness. No chains outside. Stop this humming. The stage 2 is over. Now we will go to the stage 3. Now we ask the mind to go a little deeper. Walk the path alone, not with the loneliness. So look inside the forehead at any point in the space and mentally hammer that space with a mantra. Mentally, not moving the lips or the tongue. When you hammer it deeply and you see the other side of the mind being cheerful, you will experience as if the mind is going deeper. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. That is why you are doing it mentally. Quick, fast and loud. Check. Are you doing quick, fast and loud mentally? How do you know it? There is no thought that comes in between two om. You can pick up any word, but we are picking up a traditional word, symbolic of pure consciousness. That is the only reason. Nothing about mysticism. Continue. And now looking inside the heart, continue hammering the same mantra mentally. When you do it mentally and it is quick, fast and loud, you can check. Your body will stop moving. It will acquire a complete state of motionlessness. How it happens, first experience and then we will understand it. These practices comes from the Tantra. Simple. Beautiful. I don't want to interrupt. Sometime I say beautiful and the mind returns again to the body. Unconsciously, habitually, by regular practice, you will see everything is happening inside. It's an inner practice. Nobody knows. Nobody is there. You're inside. So we are hammering and changing the center of emotion inside the heart. And I'll look deep inside the belly button. It is the center of action. Without this center, the body cannot move. So look deep inside the belly button in the space and continue hammering quick, fast and loud in your mind. I appreciate, maintain that status quo of motionlessness. Mind is within, it is hammering the center of action. And now stop it. Look inside the forehead, in the space, and say Om Shanti. Om is a symbol of pure consciousness. Shanti is the manifestation. Now that is the first milestone. Then take the mind little deeper. So when you see, you become aware that the mind has gone deeper, mark that with Om Shanti. We are using Om Shanti as a tag, as a milestone. So check that the mind remains with you. Then the third milestone, after moving the mind deeper within. You may feel it, you will know it, you will experience it, as if you are too far from the world outside, you are too far from the body, you are too far from the breath. That is why we are doing the stage 4 practice. Again go deeper, and the fourth milestone, Om Shanti. And you will see the mind returns again to the first one. How do you know? The mind starts thinking of the world outside, body. But if it does not, wonderful, continue. We are in the stage 4 of the journey. You will discover every milestone you consciously experience as if you have gone too far. So sometime we land up with a beautiful vision and experiences. We have not to be affected by them. Recognize and accept and continue the journey. Now leave that step also, going to the last step of breath mindfulness with a three-pointed awareness. In a way, you are doing nothing. You are looking the breath mentally. The mind is knowing the breath is going in and coming out. Second point of awareness, you feel the sensation inside the nose with every breath going in and out. Third point, you do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Can I live into that state of doing nothing? Awareness does not mean that I am doing everything. I am a sentient being. By default, awareness should be there. So in a way, we are in a state of doing nothing. Awareness of the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation and no change. It will keep that awareness of inside and also the outside world. You're just in the middle. You pick up that poise, that peace, that happiness. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes if the hands' palms are clean. It's a coronavirus time. And know your experiences, bring the hands down. Let us share your experiences and then we will have few questions before we end the session. So how are you, Michelle? In the end, you are good.
I am good. I had some difficulty connecting through audio. I guess
Oh,
I'm not in the regular room that I normally do things, and there was a storm that came in, so I lost the connection to hear some of what you were saying, and then on top of it, I think I hit something, and then somebody wanted to join me for meditation.
I know. Yes, that is also another. But
Yeah,
in the
he's very relaxed. He appreciates everything that you've done.
oh, thank you. But in the end, I could see that you were calm, with mind was withdrawn inside. Yes, that we
Yes.
need to. That we need to do it again and again and again until the mind finds that here is the peace.
Thank you.
How are you, Sophie? Unmute it first. I cannot unmute from my side. No, unmute first. Again. You muted it again. What happened?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, now it's good. So I'm good. I felt very heavy, but also I know my mind was lazy hammering the
Yeah, yes. It is because of the mind is still outside, and that is why it loves what is happening outside instead of going inside. But this week I'm going to send you this audio file. Continue. Every day. And what else? In the end, you were good.
Yeah, I felt fine. Yes.
Sophie, yes. Yeah, I'll talk to you and just... Sophie?
Yes?
In the end, you were good.
In the end, I felt very heavy.
Very
But
heavy.
I was there. There's a lot of noise from the fire station across, so I was. I heard them obviously, but I was not as focused.
Not as focused, yes.
Yeah.
Remove that fire station from your mind. You cannot remove it physically.
Yes, that's right.
And I don't see you where you are.
Oh, let's see. I have to put up my chair.
To put your chair, yes.
Do you see me now?
No.
No.
So that's funny. I must sit higher. Oh. What about now?
No. But what is your experience? You are doing good?
I felt very calm.
Very calm.
Yes.
So, yes, tell me any question that you have.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
So we hear your voice, right? And we follow your instructions. So how is that different from whatever other sound we hear? See what I mean?
Yes, I understood. What about the sense of touch with your mat at this time? What about the sense of touch with your t-shirt? What about the sense of temperature? These sense organs in a waking state by default picks up the objects, respective object. If your eyes are open, you don't say that, I'm making an effort to see you. Your eyes are open, normal. I'm in front of you, you see it. Same thing, this sound is in front of the ear, you see it. But then what is the take? Where the attention is, there the mind goes. Simple. In the presence of the objects of sound, touch, smell, you are listening to me because the mind is attentive to these words. That much is to be done. How it is to be done? It is not to be done. By default, you are listening. So your mind should continue listening in the presence of everything outside. Are you getting it?
Mm-hmm.
Because some people say and claim in our teaching community that shut off completely your mind. I'm a sentient being, Completely shutting off is dead or sleep. Two options. Option of meditation is not there. Either I am dead, then sense organs do not work, or I am in deep sleep. See that? Be very blunt and straight. So, because I am a living being, objects of the senses will continue to interact with my 5 sense organs. Because I am a conscious being. Clear? I have a choice. Mind should pick up a choice. Listening to the instructions. You see that? Still, there may be a lot of things in the fire station, lot of things in our AC. There may be some noise of the AC. Michelle has a pet, so he might or she might be jumping here and there. You see that? We feel the sense of touch with our clothes. That makes me a living being. So let it continue. I could hear some hammer. That is the way you have to hammer the mind with Om. So you link it completely. And that way you help yourself.